Welcome back, people. It is episode 46 of season 3 of the Taxi Squad podcast. This is now the 7th or 8th consecutive week Vince and I have been live on YouTube. If you haven't gone to subscribe or see us on the YouTube, you will see content you have never seen quite before.
What is you
So we
doing,
do
baby?
recommend.
Get on there.
So we do recommend that you hop on there. Also, wherever else you get your podcast, that is where we would be found as well. So anywhere, Spotify, Apple Music, however you record or listen to your podcast, that's where you will find us. And of course, any social media platform around. Now, we got a fair amount to get into today. We do have some very interesting, strange, and unusuals, all just so happen to be in the great state of Arizona, where now Mountain Mike, a.k.a. Shy Mike, is. We also have college football review. Got a lot of craziness to discuss over this past weekend. Then, where is Jason Benetti happening to be? I mean, I can talk today. And then the NFL is in full effect, where we give our Super Bowl and playoff picks. So, Vinny, how the hell are you?
I'm good, dude. How are you is the real question.
It's been a day, man.
It has
been.
been.
A day, kid.
You look bronze. You look beautiful. I'm very jealous. We got 62 today, and we are in the beautiful Chicago on this side of the recording. I can't speak either. So I am happy that you're living in nice weather. I'm happy that I'm living in nice weather, and I'm happy that we got a Bears win on Thursday, so Sunday was a relatively enjoyable time.
Yeah, you didn't go to sleep super upset on a Sunday night waiting to get into the, Monday scary. I would say that the Bears barely beat the great team, a.k.a. the Carolina Panthers, that they are. Something like that. We'll get into that. But, yeah, no, all in all, it was a busy weekend. I think we were both out and about doing stuff. The weather right now in Arizona is absolutely fantastic. It's a sweet spot. It's like why you live here. It's like 80 degrees, 20% humidity every day. We're dipping into the 70s over the weekend. I'm happier than a pig in shit. So can't say it's a better time of the year to live here. But yeah, very, very tepid, I would say, for the early parts of winter in the Midwest.
Yeah, I'll take it all day. We'll see when it ends up getting cold, but right now I'm a happy camper. You want to know who's not a happy camper? Both of these strange and unusuals are about to get into.
Not usually are there two strange and unusuals that Mike finds, because Vince always comes across some craziness.
Weird ass shit.
Along the week. I just so happen to find both of them this week.
Yeah.
We're going to start here in the desert. Like I said, a lot of shit happened here over the past couple weeks. So we're going to start with the cousin or brother, my bad, of the owner of the Arizona Cardinals, a gentleman by the name of Bill Bidwell Jr. Bill Bidwell Jr. was chilling at his house, and his wife just beat the living fuck out of him.
I think you could say beat the shit out of me is what he ended up saying in a quote, actually.
Broke a beer glass over his head and bloodied him up bad. He said maybe hit him about 100 times.
Oh my God.
Allegedly, right? And he
there's
said
videos.
There's video evidence. There's all of this. Like, it's happening in their house, and I think it's Glendale area. And she just beat the living shit out of him. So I don't know if, maybe there's some arrangement that went wrong. Maybe she's, dipping into the bottle a little too much. But the scene was not something affluent people would be a part of. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, for sure.
Because chances are, if you're the brother of the owner of the Arizona Cardinals, you did okay in your life.
Yeah.
And it seems like they lived in a beautiful home. But she just looked like all sorts of, she was walking out of a trailer in her Barbie shirt.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. I'm confused by the scenario because, and obviously this is bad. Don't do this if you're a person in the world. Obviously don't do this shit. It's super fucked up. The story overall is fucked up. Our goal in doing this is to bring a little bit of light to it, discuss it, and talk about how truly strange it actually is. So let's use that as a buffer for the rest of eternity. This is insane. He attacked her with a bottle. Or she attacked him with a bottle.
It's not the other way around.
And there's videos of all of this. Their kid is a lawyer. She sided with her mom
Well, she had to.
Right.
She
So,
didn't know the whole story. She just got there and turned into full lawyer mode,
yep,
right? You
exactly.
watch the video. She shows up. The cops are like, "We want your mother to be treated by the paramedics." She's like, "My mother doesn't need to be treated by anybody she doesn't uh, claim to want to be treated by. That's the
Right.
law and all that." So basically, she just played her part. I don't think she was taking sides, but who knows what this fucking guy did?
I mean,
Maybe
and
he's banging hookers on the weekend.
see, okay, so that's where my head went initially. Call me good, call me bad, whatever it is. I'm either thinking like he's having sex with,
maybe a little bit of both.
he might be having sex with her best friend. He might be having sex with a bunch of street rats. Who knows? Nicole, her name, carried to a police car, placed under arrest, charged with assault. Husband didn't want to actually go forward with pressing charges, which makes a lot of sense if they're going to continue to be married. The thing is he didn't want his wife to be arrested because he said, quote unquote, she isn't going to tolerate that well. Who would? Who would?
Well,
especially in a fit of rage. That's the thing, too. She was obviously in a fit of rage. He obviously did something to upset her. But, like, no one's going to tolerate getting arrested well. That's crazy.
but if you read the situation, he said he was just chilling on the couch watching football.
Maybe she found something out and he didn't know. And then she came up, like, angry at him already. Preconceived angry.
Bastonade right over the head with a fucking beer glass.
Right.
Isn't that, it's kind of hysterical if you really think about it. It's like something out of a movie. Like you're sitting there just watching the game.
Yeah.
Boom! You just get fucking crowned over the head with a beer bottle.
It's making light of a fucked up situation. It is kind of insane that she comes. No, I'm saying she comes up and smashes a beer bottle over his head. Like, yo, like, what did you do, man? Like, how did this end up happening? They've obviously been married for a while. They obviously have kids of advanced ages where they can.
He's an older lad,
right?
Yeah,
so,
I mean, maybe something happened with the country club he's a part of. Who knows? Maybe he was out golfing.
Oh, they have those out there.
There's a lot of those out
there. Yeah. Yes, there
maybe
is.
Maybe some divorcee showed some interest. I'm just allegedly hypothesizing the situation as to what potentially happened. But there's a lot of we could speculate. Who knows? Maybe he's into like weird. Who knows? Vegas isn't that far. He could go to the brothels if he really wanted to, because those
the
are
mugshots are not great.
Show the mugshot. Can you pull up the mugshots, Vince? Pull up the mugshot.
I can do that as well.
This is awesome.
There she is. There she is. In all her glory. Oh, man.
Oh, she looks like she just saw a ghost.
Yeah, this is a trigger warning for anybody who gets queasy from getting attacks. This is that. I'll take this off. Yeah, doesn't look great. Obviously doesn't look great. Doesn't look to be in the best form ever. She was wearing a Barbie shirt the whole time, which, that's in the zeitgeist. It's in the world today. People like Barbie these days. But, yeah, charged with assault, and probably good that she was.
Well, it's not going to stick. He won't press charges.
No.
It's his wife. They're going to probably go to therapy like rich people do, and yeah, he'll be fine.
I'll move on with it, yeah.
Nothing a little money can't fix, right?
True.
Here you go, honey. We'll go to Cabo. Now, on the second strange and unusual, this is also something that happened over the summer.
Yeah.
So a lad who was formerly signed by the Arizona Coyotes, the professional hockey team.
Phoenix. Oh, no, it's Arizona now. It is Arizona now. Excuse me. They changed it from Phoenix to Arizona.
Arizona Coyotes, which supposedly is like the smallest stadium in the NHL.
Probably.
It's very small.
It's like Soldier Field.
Not necessarily a hockey town. Needless to say, a gentleman by the name of Alex Galchenyuk. This is an old story, but this is Galchenyuk.
I don't know.
I don't know the Eastern European pronunciation. Sorry if we're butchering this to all our hockey fans.
Yep.
So basically, over the summer, this young man got signed by the Coyotes and got a nice deal. Young man is in his early 20s. He goes out clearly to some sort of day club or event, and he got fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there's a big old fight that goes down. He gets arrested.
They found him sitting in a passenger seat of a BMW drunk after a hit and run. Is where they ended up finding him. So, Who is driving the car? No one knows.
Nobody knows. Okay, so he gets arrested, potentially for suspicion of hit and run. Who knows? Once again, if you make this much money and just learn from Henry Ruggs, just get a driver for the night. Just for the record. Just saying. But,
oh, wait. Police say his father found him, put his son in the passenger seat after finding him intoxicated, stumbling in the street. His father told officers he's never seen his son act this way before. He was obviously aggressive, but sorry, go on. Didn't mean to cut you off.
Either way, looked like the young man went out partying.
Yeah.
Needless to say, gets arrested. The film leaks of this man speaking to the officer in the back seat of the squad and then asking the officer's name. When the officer wouldn't give him his name, he then started...
Which he is supposed to. I will make that clear. You are supposed to do that as a police officer. So,
what, not give your name?
No, you should give your name.
I don't know.
You're supposed to give your badge.
Chances are the officer was pretty upset. He's
probably annoyed with the guy. Yeah.
We stand by the blue here. But needless to say, this young gentleman decides to then threaten this officer's family. And not only his entire family, but his entire bloodline, stating, and I quote, that your entire bloodline would be eliminated with one phone call to the motherland, he claimed, and that would be it. You wouldn't even see it coming. He said, I'm the type of people you read about. And all like this ominous.
Yeah. If you cut me across, they'll chop your liver across. All your kids and wives and daughters will die. I'll make sure of that. One phone call and you're all dead. Your whole family, your bloodline is dead. Your friends are going to get murdered. You know that shit. What the fuck? He has to know that is bad news when you're in a cop car. Like, no matter how drunk you are.
Not to like bleed into like the Russian KGB stereotypes, but maybe. Just maybe. I mean, maybe he's a little connected. You never. Hey, we're not going to assume. You never. Allegedly, he could be.
Who's going to do all this? You guy? Like that's who's going to do it.
He's got to be connected. You know, there's mobs everywhere. There's mafias everywhere. There's Russian mafia, Irish mafia, Italian mafia, most notably.
There's an Italian one.
Supposedly.
Did people say that?
Omerta, we don't know nothing. But
yeah.
I'm just saying, hell of a threat. And then, needless to say, got dropped by the Arizona Coyotes. He moved back to Russia.
Yep.
And he most recently signed with the KHL, where I guess he scored a goal in his first game.
He apologized and said he would be seeking help. So whatever that help is, I hope it stops him from threatening law enforcement. Because I think that actually is a little bit worse in Russia if you start threatening law enforcement.
Probably you start threatening law enforcement in Russia, you get thrown away and the key gets thrown away.
Yeah.
So
feels that way at least. So I think our overall takeaway from both of these strange and unusuals is step back, chill out, think about what you're gonna say. Because
if you get intoxicated, don't go after your spouse for whatever happened.
Right.
Also,
nor law enforcement.
don't threaten law enforcement. Also,
come on,
if you get too intoxicated, get an Uber or maybe a driving service. Whatever. I mean, hey, it's a lot cheaper than a Dewey or getting arrested. Pick one. So that is today's tape of Strange and Unusual. Vince, you kind of have a semi-strange and unusual about Big Baby.
Yeah, Glenn Big Baby Davis, guys. He is
Glenn Big Baby Davis.
He's in a bit
Celtics
of a
legend.
He's in a bit of a kerfuffle. Currently.
Okay, what happened?
We all remember Glenn Big Baby Davis in his Celtics 2008 championship run. He was part of that team. Glenn Big Baby Davis has now been found guilty on healthcare fraud, wire fraud, conspiracies to commit false statements, healthcare fraud, and wire fraud. Again, I don't know why they listed it twice. Doesn't make any goddamn sense to me.
How many wires can be frauded?
I guess a lot of them. I'm not sure what Mr. Glenn Big Baby Davis is, and this is why it's not higher up on the Strange and Unusual rankings this week. But goddamn, what is he up to? And we've speculated a little bit, obviously pre-show, and we're like, hey, It probably has to do with some business dealings that he had in the past or whatever it may have been. But, like, you're looking at this like, hey, did you put fucking millies into something? And then, Will Bynum, too, was part of that. I don't know if you remember him.
Will Bynum?
Yeah. Will Bynum.
Didn't he play on the Pacers?
He was a Pistons guy, most notably, in my head. I think he might have been a Pacer as well. Yes.
Okay.
Related to a scheme to that's what it is. We're learning as we go here. They tried to defraud the NBA's healthcare system.
Oh.
They made claims for dental and medical procedures that they never actually had. So, like, hey, I had to get a tooth taken out. It cost me this much money. Made a claim for it. They never ended up getting it. They could face up to 20 years in prison for that.
Yeah.
Total $5 million. Total $5 million. I think the total is what affects that.
How fucking greedy are you? Next question. You make millions of dollars a year to dribble a fucking basketball, and you're gonna try and defraud them for really?
And that's the thing too. It's like sometimes the healthcare, like the stuff that they get for healthcare, especially NFL, I truly have a problem with that. But healthcare in the NBA, given like what they have a pretty good healthcare plan. They just are trying to get more money, obviously, to pull out of it. It says, more than 20 defendants convicted in this case were well-known NBA stars, their conduct was otherwise typical fraudulent scheme designed to defraud the NBA's healthcare plan and net the defendants over $5 million in illicit profit. The conviction today exemplifies that despite notoriety or success in a sport, no one's exempt from criminal charges. So, yeah, they're all getting screwed for it. I feel like they're kind of also trying to make a point out of it, too. Like, don't try this in the future. It's not going to go well for you. Glenn Big Baby Davis, what are you doing?
Why would you do this, though? I once again, I'm not in the complete know as to why.
Well, and the thing is,
you're trying to defraud the NBA for more money.
Yep. I mean, Sebastian Telfair and Darius Miles also earlier this year were convicted or pleaded guilty to charges related to the same case. So, I mean, it's some guys that made a lot of money. It's some guys that didn't make a lot of money. And they're probably just like, oh, we can get away with this. And realistically, before, I don't know, this started coming about, they probably were like, no one's getting caught for this. Let's just do it ourselves. But again, Glenn Big Baby Davis made quite a lot of money in the NBA. He probably could have just invested it and moved on and had a good time with his life. Probably not the best thing for him to do now is go to jail for possibly 20 years, max sentence.
Chances are none of them are going to go to prison. Let's be honest.
You'd think. But
chances are none of them are going to jail, just simply due to the fact that, they're just going to get a lawyer and they'll plead guilty and they'll get a nice little plea.
Yeah.
Life is easy, right? But once again, why would you? Hey, greed is a very interesting thing in our world.
Yep. The more money you get, the more money you want, they say.
I mean, that's not wrong.
Yeah.
That's not wrong, you know? Read the book Rich Man, Poor Man. I mean, that's kind of once you start making that coin, you want to keep making it.
Yeah.
Speaking of making coin, we got people to represent on this podcast. And one of those people.
Good timing.
Is somebody I botched with this afternoon. It was beautiful.
Yeah, you look nice and pristine and golden.
It's my job, Vince.
I know. I like
Especially on days we record, I use the wonderful brand for shaving my face. None other than the Henson shaving brand.
This part of today's episode is brought to you by none other than our friends at Henson Shaving. If you guys have been listening to the show for a while, you already know that we swear by Henson Shaving. We've been using them for months, and there really isn't a better product out there. The Henson razor puts an end to shaving irritation and cuts while also making your skin feel comfortable and smooth. This razor is made by using CNC machines to aerospace standards. That's right. Rocket ships, people. That means it's made to very tight tolerances, meaning that the combination of how securely it's held and how minimally the blade is exposed delivers a smooth and safe shave no other razor can offer. It's literally one blade. Be safe. Please be safe. They're very sharp. You twist on the top and you get to work. It's that easy. You remember the beard bet? You remember me shaving off the whole thing. If you need to watch somebody use it, go on my Instagram and check it out because it's really that easy. Cost of ownership averages $88.20 every 2 years, which is essentially $177 less than normal cartridge razors. They're sustainable. It's precise. It's Henson shaving. It's got a nice weight to it. It's made out of metal. None of this plastic garbage. So please use the promo code THETAXISQUAD, THETAXI. SQUAD at checkout, and you'll receive 100 pack of blades free with the purchase of the razor. So you go on the site, you add the razor that you're looking for, and then you add 100 pack of razors, you'll get those for free. For most users, this amount of blades will last you 2 to 5 years depending on how often you shave. So that promo code again is the Taxi Squad at HensonShaving.com. Go check it out. College football happened again this week, Mike. It's amazing how that happens. It happens every week.
It's a good time to be alive during college football season, Vince. Especially this time of year because you get to double dip.
Yeah, true. It just all mixes together. You get NIU yesterday. You get Maction yesterday. You get the rest of the stuff on the weekend. And you get coach suspensions. And we have ourselves a coach suspension. Jim Harbaugh suspended for the team's final 3 regular season games by the Big Ten, not the NCAA, but the conference that they play in.
This is such booty.
Yeah. The quote is, "This is not a sanction of Coach Harbaugh. It is a sanction against the university that, under the extraordinary circumstances presented by this offensive conduct, best fits the violation because, 1, it preserves the ability of the university's football student athletes to continue competing, and 2, recognizes that the head coach embodies the university for purposes of its football program." I think that the Big Ten is stupid for doing this, personally.
They're trying to make a point, and it's not going to stick. I mean, they are making a suspension based on 0 proof of evidence. So there is zero factual terms that he was a part of it.
That he asked Connor Stallions to do what he did.
Maybe asked the porn star named Connor Stallions to go do this.
Yeah.
There was no evidence of that.
Right.
So they are making a suspension based on 0 evidence, which is the most college football Big Ten moral dilemma bullshit I've ever seen. They're trying to bring down a program that is arguably one of the best in the country over the past 4 years.
Oh, yeah.
Since Harbaugh's been involved, and especially this year, they're rolling, right?
They need to play somebody, but yeah.
Well, to lead into that, they played Penn State this weekend, and they had a wonderful game.
They did. They played well.
Especially without Harbaugh being there, it was a great game. They clearly wanted to come out and make a statement, and I think that they did that. Listen, they beat Penn State by almost 10 points, 24-15, and they were moving. And, I think J.J. McCarthy got stifled a little bit, but did Blake Corum pick up where they couldn't make up the noise? Blake Corum fucked up his face.
Yep.
Like bleeding from his nose, out there just bawling.
Out there, 145, 2 TDs. Like, come on.
On 26 carries, they didn't need to pass the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, you give Penn State's defense all the credit in the world, but then again, I personally believe right now they're just trying to make an example of Harbaugh. I think he's taking it in stride. I think he's doing a wonderful job in every press conference. He's saying now he's like playing into all of it, which I think is wonderful for his team.
Do you think the SEC does the same thing?
In what way?
Do you think the SEC suspends him? Because I don't.
Why would the SEC suspend him?
Well, I'm saying if, like, let's say flip it on its head and, like something happens at Georgia or something happens at Alabama, do you think they would suspend the coach for 3 games? Because, again, the NCAA did not send this out. It's just the Big Ten.
It's solely that to the point. It's the Big Ten.
It's classic Big Ten shit. What are we doing, guys? Go get a fucking national championship. This is your best opportunity. What are you doing?
It ain't going to happen.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, like,
well,
if you look at the rankings right now, you're like, hey, we're only 1 behind the SEC right now. We also have Ohio State. Like, why are we doing this? And that's the reason that they did that because, well, right. But there's the reason that they did that is because they know that he's going to be back by the time the playoffs start. He doesn't need to be at the games the next 3 games. Like, he gets to coach them throughout the week. They know the game plan. He leaves during the game, and then they have their interim head coach do that. Like, I think it's just like, just for visual effect, just to be like, we did something to him, and then they're moving on from that.
To the point, the NCAA didn't come down with any sort of violation or
0.
suspension to Jim Harbaugh. This is a Big Ten sort of decision to try and throw the book at him. Maybe, who knows? Maybe there's more evidence that we don't know about potentially.
I mean, at this point, I doubt it. It's been weeks.
Okay, who knows? Maybe they favor Ohio State. Maybe somebody sitting on the Big Ten committee is an Ohio State grad. Who knows? There's a lot of hypotheticals here that we could go down rabbit holes and drive ourselves fucking crazy. What I will say is that your best product right now in the Big Ten, you're choosing to suffocate, which makes no fucking sense.
Stupid. It's so
dumb.
stupid.
It's bad business. To your point about the SEC, would this happen in the SEC?
No.
My answer is fuck no. Chances are the coach will be fired before it could ever even happen.
And if it's a good coach, then they just
walk on water,
sweep it under the rug, and they move on with life.
Absolutely. The SEC's been doing that forever. Are you kidding?
Right.
I mean, they've been giving money to players since, I don't know, the 90s, 80s. I mean, it's always been around. Now it's legal.
The 2022 Georgia Bulldogs murdered like 20 people in hit and run accidents. And they're like, oh, well.
Kirby Smart's just like,
they're kids. They're kids.
They drive fast.
They're kids. They like to zoom.
Yeah, they drive fast.
Dude, the guy that got drafted in the NBA that played for Alabama basketball last year, nothing happened, and he was part of a literal crime. Like, the SEC does not fucking care. Brandon Miller,
he was at the shooting. He
gave him the gun. He gave him the gun.
Right. And nobody heard about it since. Yeah.
Right.
So to your point, this would never happen in the SEC.
What the fuck,
Southern
Big Ten?
It's the Midwest. You know, not bringing political views into this, but I
mean, that's true. But do you think this happens in the Pac-12? You think they suspend him in the Pac-12?
I think the Pac-12 is too stoned to understand what any of this is.
True. So we're
either Mormons or really chill Californians.
The problem is that we're not like the South, and we're not high enough to be the West, and we're just in the spot where it's just like
we're in the Middle West.
Morals take over.
To a lot of shit, and there's a lot of morals, and then there's a whole lot of other things that are going on behind the scenes.
Okay.
It's all corrupt. I think eventually college football will look a lot like the NFL.
Yeah.
And Norman Nates said this for years now.
Yep.
I think he's spot on. You're going to have 2 major conferences, and that's going to be it. And then the NCAA itself will be abolished, I think, in the next decade.
Which is good because they're fucking frauds.
It is and it isn't. I think it brings some structure. What's the value of college if you're a college athlete? A lot of people disagree with the NIL deals. A lot of people believe that, you're going to get a top tier education if you go to an Alabama, but half of these guys don't even fucking graduate anyways.
Yeah. I mean, right? It brings value to teams that otherwise wouldn't have it based solely on success. So getting rid of the NCAA like fucks with those middle to lower tier teams, and it rises up the big teams, especially if they do 12-game playoffs. Like being number 1 in the ACC, or being, let's say number 4, because the top ACC teams are probably going to be up at the top. If you're number 4 in the ACC, you're probably like 15th, maybe 20th when you combine the SEC and the ACC and the Big East all together, or Big 12, excuse me. Like that's what it would end up being.
I would say this year more so than other years, you're starting to see a balance of power across the NCAA because the schools that could get away with giving kids money.
Yeah.
And sweep it under the rug because they had the money to do so is now going away.
Yeah.
So now those schools that you weren't necessarily all paying attention to all the time, while you're seeing the upcoming, a surgence of a Washington, of these schools that aren't necessarily top tier. I mean, Florida State, a name, but hasn't been relevant in almost a decade.
Yes, but now they're
Right.
back. Well,
Right.
and that
And
tails
maybe
off.
that's just a balance of power. I get it. But I mean, let's face it, not many people would be paying attention to Utah right now.
Yeah.
Let's face it. Over the past 2 years, Utah has become a team.
Yeah, mean defense every single year.
Mean defense,
Well,
staying in games with really good teams.
outside of Jameis and Jimbo Fisher, it's like what is Florida State, And now they're coming back and they're doing it because there's money down there,
Well,
and people want to
Dion.
pay them. I know, but I am saying all my sports relevance besides like all my teams that I like are within my lifespan. So Deion Sanders in college wasn't in college when I was alive. So
Sure, but if you just look at the history of the
I know.
game,
I know.
that would tell you. But I do believe, though.
Did they win one in Florida State back then?
Yeah.
You
And
think,
I know
right?
a lot of our listeners who were born prior to we were like, God, you guys are such assholes.
No, it's mostly me. You got to remember, I'm like young. I was born in 1995. I don't remember Troy Aikman, so like it is what it is, guys.
91. It's not like I remember much of it either.
I know. I'm with you. You remember Peyton Manning getting drafted at least, though. So I don't have that in my memory bank.
Yeah. I kind of remember that. I remember Peyton Manning in his prime. I mean, that's
that I do remember because we all, as Bears fans, remember that.
Yeah, unfortunately we do. But back to the Big Ten, I think it's bad business. I have a sneaky suspicion either Harbaugh is going to retire at Michigan or he's gone after
the NFL. He's going to the NFL.
Bears.
He's probably going to coach the Bears next year.
I would love it. It would be great business by the Chicago
We
Bears.
didn't write this down, and I forgot about it, but we should probably talk about Jimbo Fisher.
Gone.
And
he was talking mad shit last year.
A&M is the college football version of the Las Vegas Raiders because they're going to be paying Jimbo Fisher until 2027. His buyout starts at $19 million this year. They owe him $19 million this year, and then he gets $7 million for the next fucking 6 or 7 years. It's obscene, the money that he gets. It's obscene.
Vince, we're in the wrong business.
Who?
I don't like.
If you're named Jimbo, what other profession are you able to do? You have to be a college coach if your name is Jimbo. Could you imagine if your financial consultant and his name is Jimbo? I'm like, I'm not going to trust him with my money, but you're trusting him with your entire fucking organization? Like, that's insane.
I mean, to your point, though, he did a good job with Florida State with Jameis.
Yeah, but that was all Jameis. That was all Jameis.
It wasn't all Jameis.
Jameis is a dog. The minute you stop disrespecting Jameis is going to be a better day of my life.
Well, he came in on Sunday. What did he do?
Dog. Threw the ball far.
That's about it. Anyway,
depends on which team. That's the argument. It went to the wrong team.
Eating W's.
Yeah.
Anyways, I do believe right now, though, that this is the best job to ever have is fired NFL or NCAA football coach.
Especially down in Texas because they got oil money there. They got a lot of oil money there. So down in A&M.
They got oil money in Oklahoma. They got oil money in Georgia. They got oil money in Florida. They got oil money everywhere, buddy.
Yep.
A lot of these, Texas A&M in particular because it's an ag school. But all in all, it's going to be another route for Texas A&M now to find their right guy. I wouldn't put it past a guy like Lane potentially leaving Ole Miss, going to A&M, putting his name on A&M.
Yeah.
Turned Ole Miss around because he's a good coach.
He is a good coach.
He's not going to beat the Georges of the world, but he could potentially flip A&M around with that pocketbook.
Speaking of Lane Kiffin.
Georgia fucked him up, man.
Yes, for sure. Good offense, not a good defense. We knew that.
Jackson Dart took a hit, dude. This kid, and you're not going to see this unless you're on YouTube, but he got smushed between two dudes that were 270 plus, and just he hit the ground like a sack of potatoes, and he was out. He was easily concussed. I mean, there was no way he wasn't concussed.
And
He hit the
he's
ground
a
with that
very
legs.
important part of that offense. Very important part of that offense. But
There's the thing about Lane Kiffin's quarterbacks. They're always kind of like punky QBs.
yep,
They always got some sort of swag to them.
he wants a
Darnold,
Baker
maybe not
Mayfield.
so much.
Yeah, right. But
Darnold was
besides that,
probably the most quiet Lane quarterback there was.
yeah,
But Jackson Dart, man, former USC QB. I mean, with the eye black, he has it over one eye. He's cool.
yeah.
He's cool. But Georgia's defense had other plans.
Did you see the heat that Lane Kiffin was getting the last week?
For what?
So there was one player on his team that didn't show up to practice
yeah,
for
I did
2
saw
weeks.
That. For mental health, and he basically called him in every other sense of the word a big bitch.
Well, and that was the thing too. And this is something that I want to say because I'm usually for that, right? Crazy mental health crisis, yes. Communication is key. Lane Kiffin is not incorrect in this situation.
No, he's not.
This kid said, I'm having a mental health problem. I'm not going to show up. And he didn't tell anybody. And Lane Kiffin said, come in here, talk to me. I like to believe that Lane Kiffin would at least be like, okay, like take the time that you need. We'll come back in. You might not be starting, but he's not going to revoke everything from him. Lane Kiffin asked to meet with the kid a couple times. The kid didn't say anything back to him. Ended up meeting with him eventually, and Lane Kiffin's like, what the fuck? And that's the big thing. Like, this is essentially a job. You can make money off of this, for sure. And it's also to your future. Like, you can have a future coming out of this. And Lane Kiffin's like, you don't just not show up. You don't just not answer to your boss or whoever's going to be. Right.
You're on a team.
You at least need to let the head coach know. You at least need to speak to him. The kid didn't. He kicked him off the team. The kid's like, I don't know why you have to be so rude. I'm like, and then there's a lot of people saying like, you should be nicer to him for mental health. Okay, in this situation, fuck that. Fuck it. You need to be able to communicate. At least say, hey, a lot of messed up things are happening in my head right now. I need a little bit of time, and I'd like to think that he would have at least a little bit of sympathy for the kid. He didn't say anything and got mad at him. So essentially you want him to like run free and just do whatever.
To your point, they're kids.
Right.
And yeah, they're going to be going through some shit. Fine. To the
Sure.
point. You have a guy that, I hate to say it, at school, that's your father. You got to communicate to that man because he's going to either make your life really easy or make your life really hard.
Yeah.
So you got to communicate to the guy who's putting you through your free schooling and all of it. It's not a free fucking ride. You got to go do your job, to your point, which is play the sport that you were recruited to play.
Right.
And do it well. And if you're not going to do that, tell people what the fuck is going on. I think he was trying to bait him into a situation. I think he did it great. He was like, no, you're fucking off the team. It's it.
Exactly.
You're done. And I'm paraphrasing, but I think it's 100% correct.
Yeah, I can't blame him. And what you said was essentially what he said. Like, he's just like, no, you're fucking done. You have to be able to tell me, like, how am I going to be able to depend on you, let alone in a football game, outside of a football game on a week-to-week basis? Like, what are we doing? This is Ole Miss, too. This isn't fucking, like, Elgin Community College. This is Ole Miss. They're playing in the SEC, dude.
Big SEC football. This is almost professional football to the point of, this is the closest thing to being playing on a Sunday.
Right.
To that point, I don't know. Maybe Vince and I are skewed because at least I grew up in a generation where a coach could still call you a big bitch and get away with it to your face. And it kind of
that's the thing too. I went to I went to a liberal arts college. I'm very sympathetic to a lot of things. I understand the whole issue. No communication leads to assumptions. Assumptions are a bad thing. If you're running an entire program with, mind you, doesn't have 5 people on the fucking team, you got 22 on each side and every backup next to you. Plus, like, you don't tell him something, he's not going to be thinking every day, like, oh, I wonder if he's okay mentally. Like, that's okay to not be okay, but you have to fucking tell somebody. Like, what are we doing?
We all got our problems, bro.
Right.
We all got our shit. I mean, at the end of the day, if you go to your coach, though, and let him know that you're going through those problems, chances are he would handle the situation with a little bit more grace. People who want to demonize Lano right now, don't.
And there's plenty of shit that you can demonize Lane Kiffin for, but
Lane's
I don't think you're
dirtbag. He's had his moments, but he's still. I'd play for Lane.
This is not the scenario that you should demonize him in, though.
No,
that's kind of what
I'd play for Lane. I mean, are you kidding? Lane was fucking banging assistant coaches' kids.
That's not why I play for him, but
No, that's not why I play for him. I play for him because he seems like a good coach.
bad
But
timing.
he literally got caught banging one of his assistant coach's daughters,
Really?
who was of age. Yeah, she was like 23.
Oh my god. Okay,
Yeah.
scumbag.
Allegedly,
What are we doing?
allegedly,
What a scumbag.
allegedly, that's what happened. My favorite video ever is the hungover Lane Kiffin. Is my favorite.
Yes. Oh, for
Vince,
sure.
if you could pull up the hungover Lane Kiffin at FAU,
We'll see if I
I
can
feel like
get it.
that would be great.
Yes.
That'd be great. But I digress. Let's move on. USC and Oregon.
Yeah.
Wow. It looked close for a little while, and then it wasn't. And the Ducks are good. They're real good. They play defense. And
Dude, I'm
we don't
telling
play
you.
defense.
That's the pride of the SC or the Pac-12, excuse me, is the Oregon Ducks right now.
Yeah, Washington and them. Yeah, for sure. What I would say is this,
so good though, dude.
they're good. I
Bo
do
Nix.
believe. Yeah, that defense in Oregon's really turned it around. Washington's defense is a little suspect right now. But what people need to understand about Washington right now is that they're undefeated. And they're really fucking good.
Oh yeah.
And they played a really good game against a pretty good Utah team that shows up in bigger games. Didn't show up last week, but showed up this week. And they gave it to a good Washington team. Now, what I will say is I wouldn't think at this stage of a college football season that I'd be looking at the Pac-12 rankings and seeing University of Arizona and Oregon State above my beloved Trojans. But here we are. After the game, there was a young fan, and I don't know, I saw this on the internets, that she was in the tunnel waiting for USC to run back in after the game and caught Lincoln Riley and basically stated, "Fuck you, Boomer Sooner, you're a traitor." And he looked at her dead in the eyes and said, "You know it, sweetheart," and kept moving.
I mean, okay.
Now he's wearing it as a badge of honor, which I don't like.
Two sides of it. Two sides of it. He's probably gotten this so
Then
much.
say nothing.
I know, but he's probably just like, I'm just going to, like, here's where I am. I'm making millions of dollars. I'm just going to reply to this as like a little joke. Like, if you think that I am, then I am. Like, have a blessed day.
Okay.
Move on.
Okay. Do we think this team, though, personally fed into their own hype? I have no other way of putting it right now.
Yes.
I think they fed into their own hype. I think they got way too big for their britches. I thought they were going to be a playoff team this year.
I can't find hungover Lane Kiffin, too. I'm just going to tell you right now.
That's okay.
I'm having a real hard time.
I've looked it up a bunch of times. If you just look up FAU welcome video Lane Kiffin,
that's what I did. I don't know. It didn't show up. But either way, I think, and like we all tend to do this as fans too. We drank the Kool-Aid. You guys had the best quarterback in the entire goddamn nation. And then
I
it was
still
like,
do believe though he is.
I think he is too. He's the number one pick. There's no doubt about it. I mean, I'll make the Drake May comments because they're funny. But in reality, like, he is the best quarterback. He's going to get drafted number one overall. They're one of the best offenses in the league. They can't play defense for the life of them. And I think that everybody knew that they were going to be a lot better than they have been in the past. And now we're in a situation where it's like, maybe they're not as good as we thought they were going to be. And, like, the hype sometimes doesn't match the actual, output that they're going to put on the field. And that's the thing too. It's like you made this clear as the year was going on. The first 3-4 weeks of college football, you're like, yeah, they're winning, but the defense doesn't look great. They can't tackle. And that's been like a constant theme this whole entire year is they can't tackle. And they lost because they can't tackle. That's the reason they've ever lost. Like, that's the thing of it. So I know what you're saying. I'm with you. I think they were overhyped a little bit, but it is.
You fire your defensive coordinator, Alex Grinch, gone. You bring in your assistant, and I don't know. This just looks all OU all over again. It smells like it. If it walks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, if you lose to a duck, it's a duck. All right, here we go. Lane Kiffin, hungover. for everybody on the show. Here we go.
Oh, man. Where am I just going to play from here?
Come watch the Owls have a great year in a championship run, starting with you.
Look at how hungover he is.
Go Owls.
Look at he looks like
Oh.
sweating vodka.
He looks so angry to be there. He's like, why am I coaching at Florida Atlantic?
Started from the top. He just looks like he's so like about to vomit.
Or he's like, oh my God, like I'm in for a real mess right now. Commit to the Owl.
He actually, commit to the Owl, right?
Yeah.
Garnered national attention for
go
a promotional
back.
video that featured
Go back.
Florida Atlantic coach.
Hey, Owl Nation.
New Florida Atlantic coach Lane Kiffin and the Owls.
Oh, it's the Sun Sentinel. I don't want to give him any love anymore.
No. Okay. They're done. But either way, he is so hungover. And it's the greatest video I've ever seen.
It's great.
Now, FAU, for everybody known here, FAU is a new program. Over the past decade, they became a school. Legit.
Really?
Yeah. Like when I was graduating
So is it like College
high
of
school,
DuPage?
No, it's bigger than that. So when I was graduating high school, FAU just came into existence. It was like 2009.
Okay.
And they're like in Boca. So it's like a retirement town that had this campus, and they're like, well, let's put a college
What do we do
here.
with it? Yeah, right.
And they did. And they brought in Lane after all the, USC, Bama drama. He took over that program and actually gave him some sort of relevance.
Yeah, I mean, they have decent athletics. They have a decent basketball team, all things considered.
Anybody can look that up. I think that would have been the only college at that time that would have accepted me with my grades because they said I wasn't an A1 student. But anyways.
No, you weren't good between the books, bud?
Not at that time in my life.
Yeah.
You know what I realized? When you pay me to do something, I'm very inclined to do it.
Yeah.
Back to sports. So Washington, Utah, this game was awesome. I would assume that if you did get a chance to watch this game, you were taken back as to what the fuck are you doing on a pick six or fumble for six, dropping the ball before the end zone.
This happens every goddamn year.
You'd think you'd watch enough film.
Stop doing it.
Maybe I'm not going to do that. And maybe I'll cross the goal line before I drop the ball.
I get it. The argument is I've scored a bunch of times. I always know where the end zone is. This was just a clerical error. That was on like the 6-yard line. That was the most agreed.
Like on the 3 or the 4.
It felt like it. Well, because the Deshaun Watson one or Deshaun Jackson ones, because Deshaun Jackson's done it a couple times.
Yeah,
he would always drop it at like the 2, something like that. But this one was a little further back where you're like, you weren't even in. Like, if he looked down, he wouldn't have seen the end zone yet.
I'm a big boy, right?
Same.
If I was about to score a touchdown, I would make sure I cross the goal line, laid down,
and then
I got the touchdown. Then I'll drop the ball. Either that, or I'm holding on to that football for as long as I possibly can.
Yeah, give this to my mom.
Give this to my family. This is the only time it's ever gonna happen because I'm a big boy.
Right. Yeah, it was. I saw it and I was like, God damn. I'm like, you think people would figure it out eventually? You think people would stop doing that eventually? And it always happens. It literally has become a yearly celebration for everybody. It's like, oh, there's the one play where someone drops the ball before they end up in the end zone.
Now,
did it matter?
What I will say, it didn't matter because right after that, Utah takes the ball at like the 2-yard line.
Yeah.
And then there was a safety.
Yeah. So it didn't matter, but it didn't change the outcome of the game, but also like that's immediate benching in my head where I'm like, stop fucking doing this, guys. It's so easy to not do this.
But Washington is still a team. I do believe, though, I mean, it's going to be a Pac-12 championship of Oregon.
Yeah.
And
Washington. There's no argument.
And I don't know who's going to win that game. If right now you gave me odds, chances are Oregon's favored, but I still don't believe it.
They got similar skill sets. I really like the Oregon defensive line. I feel like they can really get home, so I would like to see how Washington plays against them up front. Michael Penix is a better quarterback, but not by that much, which is kind of where I'm like,
why do you say Michael Penix is a better quarterback?
Statistically, he's played better this year. He's probably got more tools than Bo Nix does, but Oregon's offense is still really fucking good. My thing is
Very
that
good.
they recruit the big boys well. And
Who? Oregon or
Oregon does, especially in the last 3 to 4 years. Like, defensive and offensive line has been, I mean, shit, even Kyle Long went there. Like, they've recruited big boys for a long time.
Kyle Long, even though Kyle Long was an undersized guard for sure.
And Kyle Long was also a Pro Bowler, and he was just about the only guy in the Bears at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he protected Jay Cutler for a long time as well.
Yep.
Which I never would have thought I said this is maybe the best Bears quarterback over the past
He
decade.
is. It's undeniable.
Shows you how sad our organization
He
is.
also
Anyway,
was better than anybody the 10 years earlier, too. I would like to make that clear.
I digress.
You're going to have to admit it at some point.
Anyways, let's talk about this game.
Okay.
So either way, I think Michael Penix, to your point, is more talented if we look at what the eye test would provide. Bo Nix is far more strategic. Bo Nix now, after Saturday, has started 57 games straight. So he has that experience. He has that tenure in college football that would make you assume that this guy is now leading the nation in Heisman votes.
Yeah.
He is the odds-on favorite to win the Heisman, and Michael Penix is right below him.
What about Jaden?
What about Jaden? He lost, or he barely beat a Miami team with a
That
freshman quarterback.
is the team. It's an individual award. He's played his ass off this year. Statistically, he's the best quarterback in the country this year.
Then again, it's also who's surrounding you. There's a fair amount of talent surrounding that young man, as is Oregon and Washington. But I look at the eye test, and I know. I
was going to say, look at their rankings, because even if you're going to go by team, you're like, shit, Florida State is what, 4 now?
Yeah, they're 4.
Yeah.
They're 4. It's interesting to see right now. I don't think Florida State's going to make it in the college football playoff at all. I don't think
they'll win the ACC.
They'll win the ACC, but who they got to play? Clemson.
Right. Who's gonna be their biggest rivalry in the ACC?
I mean, Clemson plays UNC this week to give it some sort of understanding, which some people say maybe that's a trap game.
They did beat Notre Dame like last week, so I mean,
oh man, yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, it's a better win than whatever Oregon or whatever USC played this week. So it is what it is.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. For Clemson?
Yeah, hypothetically, yes, it's a bigger win. Although, I mean, Oregon had a point to prove, right?
Yeah.
They needed to go in and beat. USC has been in almost every game that they've played this season, minus Notre Dame. So, goes to show you. It's true.
No, I know. It makes me feel. It makes me feel happy. That was a great game to watch. I know.
I was on an airplane. I was on an airplane.
I know you were. I wasn't.
We do have, some interesting things to kind of get into here. Moving into next week, I'm interested to see, to the point, how UNC does play against Clemson. I think that's going to be a great game. I also believe that, there's not a ton of things to be like, oh, man, I can't wait to watch that game. Georgia, Tennessee, SEC battle. I don't think Tennessee, after losing to Mizzou, thank God.
Speaking of, really quick, I know we're doing some reviews and stuff, but Milton?
Ain't it? He's not your king.
He has a cannon of an arm. Decision-making is questionable. Athleticism is pretty good. Obviously did not work out. They need to bring that rookie in. Or not rookie, but freshman. I think he's a freshman this year. They need to bring him in and at least get him some reps. And then at some point, he'll be able to take over next year. But Milton, I don't know. But sources say that the entire team likes him a lot. And if he was benched, it would be like Armageddon.
It's his last year. He's not going to have a shot.
Right. So I think they're just going to let him play out for the rest of the year. But it just hasn't been the year that Tennessee wanted to have.
No. I mean, because you don't have Hendon Hooker. Hendon Hooker is clearly a better talent. And who knows, maybe a Detroit Lions starting quarterback sometime in the next 5 years.
Could be. Very well could be.
Now, game I would like to call out here, Kansas State. Going to be a hell of a battle.
Battle of Kansas.
Battle of Kansas.
Bleeding Kansas.
Bleeding Kansas, Oklahoma State, Houston could be another great game.
Yeah.
And then Washington, Oregon State, Pac-12 matchup.
Yeah.
Which I am looking forward to watch. Utah, Arizona. Which
I was gonna say, who would have thought that would be a fun game?
I think Utah is gonna win.
Yeah,
because they
but
have
I
a
mean,
really good
even
defense
so,
and fucking mobile quarterbacks.
as far as their rankings, like 3 rankings away is weird. Like you wouldn't have thought that Arizona would have been 19 at the beginning of the year this year.
U of A, no. I wouldn't have thought University of Arizona.
Utah, you knew they were going to be in the top 25 at the very least. But
Well, I thought Cam Rising was going to come back, and basically he's just foregoing this season to come back next year and try and own the Pac-12 because he'll be like damn near 30.
I was going to say how he's going to be the new Stetson Bennett meets Sam Hartman meets. So
he's there. Now I will say the new top 25 just dropped.
yes.
Okay, so the AP top 25 just dropped. We'll just go in the top 5, which is close, by the way, to the top 10 I dropped a few weeks ago.
It is.
Even though Bama is
last
8.
week.
Yep. Even though Bama is 8, which I still disagree with. We have Washington at 5, Florida State at 4, Michigan at 2, Ohio State at 3, and Georgia at 1.
Yeah, Michigan's going to stay at 2 if they go undefeated, regardless of what they are. They obviously beat Penn State. We talked about it a little bit, but I still don't know if they're not frauds.
Who? Michigan?
Yeah. I don't know because they really, besides that, they haven't played a lot. And the one game that they played against a good team, and this was a thing too because people thought that J.J. McCarthy was going to be like a Heisman candidate. The one team that they played that was kind of worth a shit, it was kind of a toss-up. Like, obviously, they won that game, but he didn't have a great game. He went like 7 for 10 or something like that. And like you see other guys, and like Georgia obviously doesn't have a great quarterback. Michigan's supposed to have a good quarterback, but then you're looking at like Florida State, Washington, Oregon, even Texas. Quinn Ewers is playing well. You got a lot of guys that are like game changers in the quarterback position, but top 2, some to be desired. Just really good defenses and well-coached teams. So I do think that this top 4 can be a little volatile going into the playoffs this year.
I will say this moving forward, the Big Ten needs to stack their schedule towards the end of the season like most of the rest of these schools do.
Yeah.
Either that or spread it out. So if you're going to play a highly ranked team coming into the season, do it then.
Well, Ohio State's done that this year. Michigan hasn't done it, though.
Who would they play? Notre Dame? Penn State?
They did play Notre Dame. Well, that's what I'm saying, but Michigan has played garbage all year. Like, they haven't played one real team.
I don't disagree. They did the same thing last season. I will say this, though. If you look at it from across the board, it can give relevance towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
For example, Texas is rated above Alabama right now.
Yeah.
Texas beat Alabama in Bama earlier in the season.
Hell
is that
yeah.
the same team now as it was 6 weeks ago?
No.
No.
They look like they have
To
so
the
many
point.
holes. Yeah.
Right. So Texas now has gotten exposed. So to the point, you play the hard schools or diversify the schedule a little bit if you're Michigan to say, you know what, maybe we are going to play, a good Pac-12 team or good SEC team in the beginning of the season off schedule, off conference.
Yeah. And like, I feel like this is more than the last couple of years. Like we talked about the parity all year this year. The conference championships are going to be a big swing for just about every single one besides the SEC, obviously, because Georgia's probably going to win that. But Ohio State, Michigan, they're going to go back to it realistically.
Why can't Michigan play Iowa in week 2? Like,
oh, right. Like who, like they've,
why wouldn't you play Iowa week 2?
Why
wouldn't
wanted
you
an
play...
easy schedule?
I get it. But then again, it kind of makes you look like a fraud.
It's one of those things that makes me excited for the 12-team playoff. Like, I don't think it's going to be perfect,
but
but
happens, I would
next year, right? It starts next year. I think this is the last year of 4.
Next year, 12-team playoff will be ideal next year. We have a lot of exciting times to come into college football, and every weekend you watch, you just realize it's closer to the end, and it makes you sad, but it makes you fall in love with the sport all over again. So, Yeah, no, I love it. We got a fair amount to get into here. So do you just want to do a quick blurb on baseball here, Vince?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just to say that the White Sox lost another person in their organization because they are brutal and horrible and bad to be around. Jason Benetti has moved in division to the Detroit Tigers. He is a lifelong White Sox fan. He has made his home being the White Sox broadcaster, went into ESPN. Everybody considers him a high-rated, great broadcaster. I agree, and I'm mad that we lost him. Interdivision to the Tigers because he cited that having an analytics department is important to him, and the White Sox in 2023 don't have a valid analytics department, which is insane. So we're looking at a team now that doesn't have one of the best announcers, has only one good player, has a coach from the Royals, has a GM from the Royals, has a bench coach from the Royals, and now we're looking at hell for the next, 20 to 25 years. So everything's bad. They can't even hold on to that. And their argument when they were asked about it is before Jason Benetti joined the system or joined the team, he wasn't anything. He was making his bed with the team. And now he's moving on to brighter pastures, and they plan on bringing somebody else in to be the next Jason Benetti because that's so easy to do. I'm so mad about the whole thing. I'm so mad.
If anybody hasn't noticed, when Vince goes on a rant in the beginning, he gets very Trumpish.
Do I?
They're horrible. They're a terrible
suck.
team. I don't even know why I root for them.
So you're saying I'm a good debater. I'm a good debater.
In every single way. They're horrible. They don't even value analytics anymore. I go to them. I say, why don't you think about having an analytics department? They're like, we're not going to do that. I'm like, it's a fraud.
Dude, yours is getting good. Your Trump's getting good.
It's terrible. We're going to see how it's – I don't know how you overcome a Jason Benetti. We don't know who he's looking at in a broadcast. Thank God you don't see his face much. But I stopped there. Hey, Vince.
Yeah.
Taxi Squad legend Rocky Lombardi beat
Yes.
Western Michigan 24-0.
Yes.
We just want to update the world that we
Congrats, Rocky.
now.
They can't score
Congrats,
against NIU. They got the Italian stallion
Oh.
under center.
You know?
He's our favorite player. Rocky Lombardi for Heisman. If he doesn't win it, then the entire NCAA is fraudulent.
It is. It is. Shout out
So-
to the NIU.
So
legend, Rocky
screw this
Lombardi.
whole
Go Rock.
Jaden versus blah, blah, blah versus blah, blah, blah conversation. It's Rocky's award to win.
It's
and
Rock.
Screw you if you don't believe that.
Underdog story of the year.
True.
All right. Let's get hydrated.
Let's get hydrated. This next segment is brought to you by our friends at Liquid IV. This portion of today's show is brought to you by Liquid IV. That's right, the hydration brand we've all come to know and love is with ya boys. It's festival, outdoor party, and adventure season, and proper hydration is essential. You don't want to miss out on the summertime activities while they're still here. Liquid IV will help you hydrate and stay in the game. I've been using Liquid IV for a few years, and I found a ton of uses for it. Going to sleep after a day-long soiree. This is the product that helps me rehydrate and recover. I brought them with me on hikes, long bike rides, vacations, and maybe most importantly, bachelor party weekends. The beauty of it all is that Liquid IV comes in a small, convenient package that you just add to a bottle of water and drink away. One stick of Liquid IV and 16 ounces of water hydrates you 2 times faster and more efficiently than water alone. Get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use the Taxi Squad podcast code, TAXISQUADPODCAST, no spaces, at checkout. That's 20% off anything you order when you shop Better Hydration today using the promo code Taxi Squad podcast at liquidiv.com.
Don't copyright us. Don't copyright us. Ready to run through
That's-
a fucking wall. Man.
That's
Football
how
is
we
back.
intro. That's how we intro the NFL.
Don't copyright us, please.
We are. They might, but it doesn't matter because we don't get AdSense yet anyway, and that's inside
go.
YouTube. We have to do our picks. We are over halfway through the season now, which is sad.
Sad.
And in memoriam to the halfway point of the season, we need to make our Super Bowl picks. We're going to work it this way. We're going to pick AFC Championship. We're going to pick NFC Championship. We're going to pick Super Bowl matchups, and then finally the winner of the Super Bowl. So without further ado, last year I picked the Ravens.
Yeah.
This
You
year,
do it every year, Vince. You do it every year.
this year feels like I'm going to want the Ravens again because they look good.
They
So
just lost to the Browns.
I
They
know.
have the same fucking record.
interdivision, throw it away. It is what it is. The Ravens look good. But we're going to start off with the AFC Championship. So the way that this usually works is you pick first. So I think in all fairness, so I can't think of what your pick's going to be beforehand. I'm going to pick mine first. So you get the time to think about it.
Okay.
So I'll go with my AFC Championship first. And this one is difficult looking at, excuse me, looking at the standings.
Okay.
Last year was a big Bills. Everybody was kind of on the Bills. Bills are 5-5. I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs this year. So I'm going to go with the first safe bet. I'm going to pick the Kansas City Chiefs to come back to the AFC Championship because that kind of happens every year. Whether or not they're going to win it is a different conversation. I'm going to pick the Chiefs. On the other side of it, I don't see any team from the AFC East coming through to do it. The Jaguars are in an easy division, and they're not having that good of a time. Does MVP C.J. Stroud come through? I don't think so. I think the Baltimore Ravens do make the AFC Championship this year. So I'm going to pick Chiefs versus Ravens for the AFC Championship.
Okay, so we got Chiefs, Ravens.
Yep.
I'm going to go, and a lot of people are going to
I know who you're picking. I know who you're picking. I already know.
Yeah, I'm still on the Bengals train.
Yep,
I'm not taking that loss lightly. No T. Higgins, banged up Jamar Chase. I feel like once
they
they get
lost
healthy,
to the Texans.
Yeah, the Texans are a really good team right now. We're going to get into why here shortly.
Okay.
They're not. They may have the ability to win the AFC South. Do I think that they go much further than that? I don't think they're there yet.
No.
But I do believe the Bengals are on path to get back to the promised land. They beat two really good teams in a row, being the Bills and then being the 49ers. This week, I just think they didn't have the weapons they usually would, and their defense didn't show up against a really good young team.
Excuses.
So, and that game went down to the wire.
I know. I'm messing with
The game went down to the wire. So I'm not bringing in to say that that's going to make it happen. I think granted, the record wouldn't tell you this, but I do believe that the Chiefs have taken a step back this season. So in my opinion, I think Bengals are bust this year for me.
Who is facing them in the AFC Championship?
Oh, it's the rematch. It's the Chiefs and
Chiefs
the Bengals.
Bengals.
100%. I do believe that. And regardless of how they make it in, I do think the Bengals make a stretch here once again.
I will put them in your Super Bowl pick. I think that the Chiefs probably get there again. I think it's hard for me to not take them until they give me a reason not to think so. And I still think that, the defense is the best they've ever been in Kansas City. Their offense isn't as good. Their defense is better than it's ever been. So maybe that carries them this year. All right, moving on to the NFC.
Okay.
As long as Jalen Hurts is Jalen Hurts, the Eagles are making it again.
To the Super Bowl.
The Eagles are making it to the Super Bowl. So I'm taking the Eagles, and I think they're going to beat any team that they're in front of as long as everybody's healthy. And that's the caveat with this whole thing. We're assuming fully healthy teams. If somebody gets absolutely decimated, then it's anybody's game. And we know how the NFL ends up working. Eagles are going to at least the NFC Championship. I'm taking them in the Super Bowl. On the other side, you're looking at the 49ers, who might be flawed, but good team. Purdy comes back with the guys that they need. They end up working out all right. Vikings are undefeated without Justin Jefferson. I don't think they're going to go. I really like the Lions. They got to make it there once before I take them. So betting odds, what I feel in my heart is that we go Eagles 49ers again, and the Eagles end up winning again. Eagles 49ers.
I think it's going to be Eagles Lions.
Ooh.
I think the Lions have a legitimate shot. I can't pick between the Eagles and the Lions right now, if I'm being honest. I think that the Eagles defense, if that defensive line is intact, they win. If they're not intact, I don't know if they win. Jamison Williams is back. Now you have a two-headed monster in that backfield of Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. Amon-Ra St. Brown is a absolute unit. Called it on this podcast 3 years ago when it began. I said, watch out for this 4th-round draft pick out of USC, almost like I watched him for a long time.
Yeah, right.
Not only that,
Sam Laporta, boss.
Maybe another great Iowa tight end. So I will say this, that defense is great. I think that Hutchinson could be one of the best defensive ends in all of football.
Jack Campbell was a pretty mean fucking draft pick this year, too.
And Jack Campbell looks to be a great accessory for him as well on that defensive line. So I'm not taking anything away from the Lions. I think they have a legitimate shot to make a Super Bowl this year. And I might be drinking the Dan Campbell Kool-Aid, but I fucking love that guy. So
he might go to
talk about A&M.
Talk about A&M.
No,
I know, but people are talking about it.
No, he's
I'm with
professional. Why would you leave?
He went there. That's all I'm saying. But
they love Jared Goff. They're winning games. They're winning close games. They won a really close game against the Chargers. There was a shootout on Sunday. So
Jared Goff has won the NFC too before. Don't forget that.
And Jared Goff has won the NFC and played in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
I wouldn't put it past the fact that this might smell like the Lions' year. I wonder what the gambling odds on the Lions are. I'll let the crowd and the masses know here what the gambling odds for the Lions
to make the Super Bowl
is.
Or to win
I like it.
So you taking the Lions to go?
For right now, fuck it. Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, all right. So you got Lions, Bengals. I got Chiefs, Eagles.
You're just hitting the fucking easy
button.
I wonder, the two best teams. Oh, no parity. Bump. Okay, let's
Not
do
true.
That then.
Not true. There is a differentiation in play between what they do, especially given how good the Chiefs' defense has been this year and how good the Eagles' offense is when they are shooting at all. Like, when A.J. Brown's playing well, A.J. Brown's one of the best receivers in the league. So I find it difficult to...
You don't say.
I know, but when he was in Tennessee, people didn't say that.
He didn't have a fucking quarterback to throw the
football. If you look analytically at how he played in Tennessee, he was one of the best receivers based on how good his quarterback was. So, again, like I think it's a rematch, and my hot take is the Eagles end up taking this one.
I think the Bengals win the Super Bowl.
I think the Eagles win the Super Bowl. All right.
There's still a lot of football left to play.
And that's why we do this early, because no one fucking knows. And we're probably wrong, but we're goddamn going to try to be correct. Like, that's the idea.
As right as every other analyst who's
exactly.
Right? Come on. All right. Let's do Skip It or Rip It.
Skip it.
And then we'll give our weekly picks. And then we'll talk about our fantasy matchup this week.
Yeah, buddy.
All right. Let's talk about it.
The shit bowl. All right. Panthers at Bears. We're going to rip it.
Yeah, we got to talk about it.
Bears win that game. Bears needed to win that game because they want the Panthers pick to be right, which is not surprising, though. Did it surprise you?
No, it didn't. I mean, Tyson, good for Tyson Bagent, whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah.
He solidified himself as a backup quarterback in the NFL, which is the greatest job ever in existence ever.
Mm-hmm.
And now he can just chill. And wherever he goes the rest of his career, he'll sign somewhere. He'll get paid a few mil. He'll chill. He'll learn a playbook. I would just go somewhere warm after this year.
Yeah. Fields is likely to come back this week.
He is coming back this week. It's
confirmed now.
Confirmed. Yeah, he's coming back. Supposedly they played Meek Mill's. Hold up, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished?
Oh, that's
that song. That's that song.
I don't know why I'm losing it. I listened to this the other day. But
welcome back to the Caucasian podcast.
Right? Yeah, it's like you got a Peter Gabriel song on lock.
Hey, I love Sledgehammer. Put that shit on Touch Tunes.
Dude, can you put on some Imagine Dragons? No. The Panthers are a bad team. The Bears are also a bad team. We are going to end up with 2 top 10 picks. Hopefully 2 top 5 picks, depending on how. I know, but you never know how that's ever going to end up working out, especially with like the Giants on the clear downfall. Like there's other situations that could be out of hand for us where that would end up happening. But at the very least, the Cardinals won this week. leaving the Panthers in that number 1 pick. So my question to you,
Yeah.
the Bears have how many games left now? So we are right now 10 games and we got 7 games left.
Yeah.
Bears go 5-2. Eberflus stays, obviously. Bears go 1-6. Eberflus probably leaves.
I don't think there's a shot in God's great green earth that Eberflus stays with this team.
Poles likes him a lot, though.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's simple politics within an organization. You're not going to come out and badmouth your head coach as a new young GM who didn't pick his head coach for the record.
Was he hired after?
Yes, he was.
After Eberflus?
Yes, he was. He was hired 2 days after Poles.
Okay.
Or 2 days before Poles, should we say. So the organization chose Eberflus, not Ryan Poles. Even though they claimed Ryan Poles had some decision-making to do with it, let's face it.
How are you supposed to make a decision in 2 days after being hired?
He's a 35-year-old GM. He's a young man. He's still learning the ropes. They wanted a guy who came from a Chiefs organization. They're like, you know what, if you two just don't jive, pick your guy after this. And that's what I believe to be the case.
Okay.
I think after this year, after this little experiment, I don't think Fields is the guy, even though he's an incredible talent and everybody wants to have hope and promise for him. He's not it. You have one of those top 5 draft picks, you're going to spend it on a quarterback. Drake May looks an awful lot like Josh Allen. It's just like the easiest comp you can put to a guy.
Tough,
I watched him on Saturday. He does a lot of Josh Allen things. He's tall. He's athletic. He can run. He can throw the ball 1,000,000 yards. Caleb Williams, on the other hand, is just this anomaly of a freak of an athlete who's smart. He checks down. He changes plays at the line. He's a very smart quarterback, and I think if he was in the right system, it would benefit him more than most. Now, if you bring in a guy like Bieniemy to draft Caleb Williams, where you're going is the moon.
You like that. Yeah.
It better be that.
What is the threshold then? Say the Bears go, I don't know.
There's no threshold. Eberflus
if they go 6-1 to finish the year.
6-1. If you go 6-1, it's a service to the franchise.
If Justin Fields plays really well, if they go 6-1 for the rest of the year, they're sitting at 7-8.
Lose the rest of the year. Keep the top 5.
I'm with you.
Pick.
I agree, but I just think it's like it's a thought process thing where it's like this is absolutely.
There's no shot.
I know.
There's no shot.
I agree.
Look at the NFC North right now. You don't even have a fart's chance in hell to eclipse where you are right now. You have to be better than the Packers, okay, and then you have to be better than the Vikings, who are 6-4 with Josh Dobbs.
They're 5-0 without Justin Jefferson. Don't forget
the defense is shit. You have to bring in a fucking defensive assistant or defensive. I don't know. What are they calling him? A strategist?
Guru?
I don't know.
Yeah. They call him gurus.
When you hired a defensive coach?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Eberflus.
I don't like him at all. I think he's
like Ryan Poles. I think he's an idiot. I think he's a fucking idiot.
I don't think Ryan Poles is an idiot.
I don't think Poles is an idiot. I think he's smart, and I think he's trying to build this team from the inside out.
Right.
He's had a few really shitty decisions. Montez Sweat, disagree with.
I like that. Claypool, bad idea.
Here's a fun fact. Here's a fun fact for everybody. You could have kept Khalil Mack, who you traded us for a second-round draft pick.
Old.
Had 6 sacks in one game. Do you know
what has he done outside of that? What has he done outside of that?
Do you want to know how many sacks Montez Sweat has?
I know the argument you're going to make, but how many sacks has he had outside of that one fucking game?
3. He's still going to have a double-digit sack season.
I know, but he went insane one game. I wouldn't have kept him because he's also a premium pay for an older guy. Like
you're paying Montez Sweat $24 million a year.
Montez Sweat is so much younger than him. Khalil Mack's going to fall off a cliff like next year.
He's been supposedly falling off a cliff for a while.
I know, and he has not played well this year. And if you're saying that the Chargers defense, who is the most expensive defense in the league right now, are playing well, that's incorrect. They suck.
Listen, I'm just bringing the facts and the analytics to the pod.
I'm with you. I
what
agree.
you chose to do and what's happening. And you gave up a second-round draft pick that you could have used that could turn into something, maybe like a defensive end, perhaps.
Yeah, but you got to.
They seem as if they don't trust their drafting ability, so they go after guys like a Chase Claypool, like a Montez Sweat.
I don't know if
Montez
that's
Sweat
true,
was
though.
more of a proven commodity than Chase Claypool.
Montez Sweat is 27. Montez Sweat's going to be on the team for a long time. You can play that position for a long time. Khalil Mack's, what, 33?
Just saying, when you traded him, he was 30.
So you're right, but you're betting on 6 years of Montez Sweat playing better than Khalil Mack. I think that's probably going to happen. And also, you do need a leader, and that team is very young on the defensive side specifically.
I really like Kyler Gordon. I really like
I do too.
Jaquan Brisker.
I like Brisker if he could stay healthy.
I like TJ Edwards.
Yeah.
I like
Tremaine Edwards. Yeah.
You have the pieces here, but if you don't have a defensive line that can get to the quarterback,
Right,
then those linebackers are in that defensive secondary is kind of worthless. So,
it's a wash. Agreed.
there's my Bears rant. I do
agree.
personally believe that I think like we both have reasons for stating why we feel the way we do and why I don't want Justin Fields to be good the rest of the year. I just don't.
I think this is one of those like take everything, throw it in the trash, move on. Again.
Be done. Keep DJ Moore. Mooney deserves a shot somewhere.
Yeah.
Mooney is a very good wide receiver, and if he was like on the Chiefs, he would be top tier.
Anybody. You can throw a turd on wheels and they'd be able to catch balls and pack.
I'm just saying.
I agree. I don't think he's like a top tier number one receiver. I think you give him to a good quarterback and he's going to work out well. That's my opinion on that. But I don't think we've had a nice Bears rant in a while, and that's why I wanted to bring that up. But
I could go on the Bears all day long.
Ideally, the Bears lose out for the majority of the rest of the season. They end up getting a couple picks. Flus is cut loose.
A Flus is loose.
And you bring somebody else in.
With that being said, here's the rest of the Bears record.
Yep.
You get the Lions twice, which, by the way, criminal that you even didn't choose to make the Bears and Lions the fucking Thanksgiving game this year. It just blows my mind. Anyways,
for the Lions' sake.
Well, yeah. Just saying.
Go through the schedule. Go through the schedule.
Lions Sunday, November 19th.
Loss.
Vikings November 27th.
Loss.
Lions December 10th.
Loss.
Browns December 17th.
Probably loss.
Christmas Eve Cardinals.
Dub?
At home. Maybe. Kyler's back. Doubtful. Falcons December 31st, New Year's Eve.
Loss. They're going for the division.
And last game of the season, Packers. January 7th.
Dub. Easy dub.
You maybe got 2 dubs the rest of the year.
2 and 5.
So
2 and 5. 2 and 5.
So maybe the rest of the season you go 5 and 11.
Yeah. So we're looking at
or 5 and 12. Fine.
Yeah. Yeah. That will give us a top 5 pick. I think that's probably realistic. That's probably what we're going to end up looking at. I think that's probably good. I think the Panthers might win 1 more game, if not 2 more games this year, which means that we might have the first overall pick, which means give us Caleb Williams, give us Marvin Harrison, move on with our lives.
Restart.
I'm happy to have Montez Sweat, but either way, we're going to move on now. We're going to get to the rest of the picks here because we've been going on the Bears. So Colts, Patriots in Germany. First thing I want to say, I'm going to say rip it. Did you see the right? It's a snooze fest. I agree. I woke up for it. I was unbelievably hungover.
For it?
I did. Unbelievably hungover because I had people over at my house and they stayed over, so we all got up early naturally. Did you see the stadium close in on itself? Did you see that visual?
No, I didn't.
It's I think it's the Tottenham Hotspurs, if I'm not mistaken. Is that a German team or is it?
Sure.
I don't know. Either way, so the stadium, like the roof of it, it's on like a bunch of cords, and the cords all go into the center, and then they absorb into the scoreboard up top. It's pretty cool. That was probably the most interesting thing about this entire game. The Patriots suck. The Colts are a little bit better, and they suck too. And that's all my thoughts on that game. That game sucked. It was a horrible way to show football in Germany. That was fucking trash.
Vince and I chose the Bears.
Yep.
I chose the Pats. Lost.
And that was the only.
There you go.
That was the only loss that you took this week to me because I got fucked. And Mike's
Pretty
in the lead.
much.
I want to make that clear. Mike's up 3 games now. So.
Back, baby. Told you.
All
right.
You're right. Browns at Ravens.
We
Gotta rip
this
it.
one. How does this team continue to just let games go? I think out of like one score
Ravens,
games,
you're saying?
the Ravens do.
Yeah.
They get up on these big leads and then they just give them away.
Yeah, they get comfortable with leads, which is a concern. Obviously, running backs are a concern with that team as well. They can't keep any of them healthy. Lamar Jackson leading the team in rushing again. But I think the big story out of this is Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson's on IR for the rest of the year. Deshaun Watson had a really good game. He looked like old Deshaun Watson.
He looked like he was back on the Texans, killing it.
Yeah,
and then it's sad to see that after this game, now he has season-ending surgery.
Does this give Cleveland Brown fans hope in the least?
Gives them about as much hope as Chicago Bears fans.
Well, because no, you got to think about it this way though. They made him the most expensive quarterback in the league.
Yeah,
and he's played like doggy fucking doo-doo, and he finally seems like he's a little comfortable,
fully healthy.
So that's my thought. And was he healthy this week? And did he get smacked right back into the IR, or was that something that happened this week? And that's kind of my thought process. It's like,
never know.
He finally played well. Finally, the Browns have a team that they can root for and a quarterback that they can root for, whether or not whatever you believe in morally, but at least like a guy that's playing well. And then he goes out for the year, and we're looking at Dorian Thompson-Robinson next week.
UCLA legend.
Yes, he was a dog at UCLA.
Yes,
not very good in his one start with the Browns this year.
Well, who knows? Maybe he's just trying to learn the system with Stefanski. But
could be.
With all that being said, I don't know why they wouldn't put in PJ Walker, who has clearly led that team very well.
Phillip.
Don't know what Phil James is thinking, but
yeah.
Hey, Browns got a dub on a last-minute field goal, and I mean, hey, I'm surprised they won that game the way they did. It was a hard-fought battle.
Yeah, I agree. Ravens should have won that game. They should have won that game.
They totally should have won that game. They need to get Odell more involved. He looks like he's back.
Might be old.
He looks like he's back. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Zay Flowers looks like he's taking a back seat. Looks like people have figured him out, but Odell still is a threat. He scored a touchdown, had about 3 or 4 receptions. They need to get him far more involved than what they have.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Especially with no running.
Packers Steelers.
I can skip this one.
Part of me, all I want to say is that this is classic fucking Steelers. The Steelers are going to end up probably one game above 500. They're going to be right in the middle of that division, and they're always going to compete a little bit. I don't think that team's very good, but they're
very well coached.
That's what I'm saying. They're not a good team, but they play well because they're coached well, and they're the Steelers.
If I'm the Steelers, I try and do everything in my power to go get like Bo Nix.
Something like that.
Somebody.
I don't even know if Pickett's the issue, though. I think, hey, stop playing Najee Harris that much. Admit that he's not that good anymore and move on to the next guy.
You don't have a quarterback that can get people the football. And you have talent.
Well, in the fourth quarter, he can.
And Deontay Johnson.
Yeah.
And Pat Freiermuth. And you have good protection. And you drafted a stud tight end out of Georgia who's a physical freak that hasn't seen the field. So, you know, there's a lot of things there that you can question.
Yeah. Get some Darrell Henderson in my life.
Tomlin is a dog.
Yeah.
He's a wonderful coach. But let's keep it moving. Jordan
49ers, Jags. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Jordan Love is bad. So keep him on the Packers for a long time. 49ers, Jags. I took the Jags.
Why?
Because they're supposed to be good. And Trevor Lawrence is supposed to be the Messiah. And he might not be.
Well, no, he played a very good 49ers front seven. And not only that,
but game changer, Trevor Lawrence?
How in the fuck did they get Chase Young for a 3rd-round draft pick and we gave up a 2nd-round draft pick for Montez Sweat?
There is more to that than that.
No, there isn't.
Yes, there is. Their defensive line as a whole is way better. And they got to double-team somebody. Who's on the other side of the Bears line? Montez Sweat and who?
I'm sorry. You're not going to sit here and tell me that Chase Young is not as talented or not more talented than Montez Sweat.
Talented, sure, but actual production hasn't been ever. Never been the case. But maybe it will now because he's on the 49ers. But either way, 49ers fucking boat raced them.
The tail of the tape of this game is a defensive player on the 49ers caught a hot mic. It was like, they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And someone on the Jags went, "You're right. We don't know what we're doing."
Yeah, fucking clueless.
Paraphrasing, but it's true.
It was a bad day for the Jaguars. I think they're bringing them back to earth. All right, Vikings at Saints. I want to rip this.
I told you the Vikings. Josh Dobbs,
yeah.
man.
Dobbs good, dude.
Can't grow his eyebrows. Yeah, he is good, but he's good.
It's wild. The Vikings are now 5-0 without Justin Jefferson on the team. The Saints are bad. The Saints are better with Jameis Winston because at least he pushes the ball down the fucking field. Derek Carr sucks on the Saints, and it's not good. Trouble in New Orleans. The Vikings might actually stumble into a wild card spot, and Josh Dobbs might make a name for himself.
I think Josh Dobbs, I don't know, man. He looks the part. He looks really good.
Why has everybody just passed by him? He was a free agent for a long time, and all of a sudden he's a hot commodity.
It's like Kurt Warner, man. You get your opportunity. You got to make the most of it. He got his opportunity. He made the most of it.
Right now he's doing it. He's pulling a Badgett. All right,
Love
Texans at Bengals. What the fuck?
Rip it.
CJ Stroud is in the MVP. He's in the MVP conversation.
He is giving a good name to Ohio State quarterbacks, unlike Justin Fields.
How?
This kid, because he's good.
I know,
really
that's what I'm saying,
good.
but like, how does he come through? And like, D'Amico Ryan's coaching has been amazing. Like,
how
Tank Dell's a Pro Bowler. Like, what are we doing?
How do the Texans figure it out before we do?
Dude, Devin Singletary, 150. Did he ever do that on the Bills?
No, and here's me, my dumbass. I'm like, maybe I pick him up in fantasy, and
then
he fucking pops off. I'm like, of course. But I mean, that's the tail of the tape of fantasy. I mean, 30 carries, 150 yards, really showed out. You can just totally shut the book on Dameon Pierce.
Do you remember the conversation we had last year about Noah Brown on the Dallas Cowboys?
Yeah,
and I was like, "Hey, this guy's pretty fucking good."
He got his opportunity, and he was
good. 172 yards on 7 receptions. Dalton Schultz, obvious dog. Tank Dell gonna do what he needs to do, and then John Mechie too. Like, the ball was like Robert Woods was a second thought, and he's supposed to be one of the best wide receivers on that team. So CJ Stroud just knows how to run an offense, man.
I will say this much. I think CJ Stroud knows the system, and I think he's really motivated to be great in this league, and he doesn't give a fuck who gets the football as long as you're open.
Right.
And I think that there is no hero ball with this team. There's no favorites. He just gets it done. And I think defensively they have a step to take next season, which could make them a forefront in the beginning of the AFC South. I think they might catch a wild card spot, but I mean, 2 games in a row of 350-plus yard passing games for CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
And he looks like a dog, and he outperformed Joey B, which
right
is
now he is the rookie of the year, and right now he is in the MVP running. So fuck yeah, CJ Stroud.
Good
Taxi Squad called it. Taxi Squad said he's the best quarterback in the whole entire draft. And goddamn it if we weren't.
We're not always right, but when we are, we're pretty fucking right.
And we'll tell you about it. All right. Buccaneers, Titans.
I could skip this one.
Yeah, Will Levis, he's a rookie. All right, Lions at Chargers.
We should rip this one because it was a hell of a game. And
it was fun.
A hell of a game to watch. It was fun. Wow, I will say that I didn't think that they had the offense to get in a shootout, but they do.
Defense was non-existent in this game.
It wasn't a defensive game. Montgomery looked great. Jahmyr Gibbs looked great. I mean, they looked really good. Jahmyr Gibbs is a dual threat where you can receive out of the backfield, you can rush out of the backfield. He's good in the red zone. He's good anywhere you put him. He's a Swiss Army knife.
It played very similar to how that Chiefs-Bills game played like back in the day, where it was like whoever scores last is going to win. That's kind of what ended up happening, because it was like every time a team got the ball, it was at least a field goal. And most of the time it was a touchdown, like 41-38. If you hammer the over, congratulations. Like I said earlier, the Chargers defense is the most expensive defense in the NFL. Like, across the whole league. They've spent more money on their defense than anybody else. Obviously hasn't made a difference.
No.
And Detroit's a good team, and Detroit is 7-2, and respectfully, and they should be 7-2. But holy shit, what a shootout. Only concern I have, and again, Justin Herbert might be the best quarterback this year on just a team that isn't that good. Statistically, he's playing very well. But Detroit needs to win these close games. They did. They're going to be in a shootout in the playoffs if we get there. You hope that they play this way that time. And also, Jared Goff, really good. Not a trade target. He's the leader of the team.
Super Bowl team.
Yeah.
Potentially.
I wouldn't blame you. The only reason I'm not taking him to the Super Bowl is because they've never been there. So I got to see it.
Reason why they should be.
They're going to do it at some point. I got to see it once.
Chose the Lions. Vince chose the Chargers for whatever fucking reason.
Yeah. I don't know why I did. I'm an idiot. Falcons, Cardinals.
I don't have a ton other than Kyler's back.
Kyler's back, and the Falcons are worse than they should be, and you got to get rid of Desmond Ridder and get a new quarterback. All right, Giants, Cowboys.
We can skip it.
Tommy DeVito's dad. Tell me you saw him.
He has a song?
No, tell me you saw him in the stadium.
No, I didn't see him.
Oh, he's like, you don't know how they're fucking doing. They're not calling the play. He's in the audience, caricature Italian New Yorker. He's like, because they're from New Jersey, and he's literally sitting there, and he's just like, they don't even know the fucking plays they're calling. And I was beyond myself.
So the story came out of Tommy DeVito before the game is that he still lives at home.
Yep.
With his parents
his
in
mom
Jersey.
cooks for him. Yeah, come on.
And his mom still makes chicken cutlet. He still gets his fucking laundry done all the time. His bed's made. You ain't gotta worry about a fucking thing. Ma, where's my jersey?
That ain't bad. That ain't a bad life.
I mean, it's not a bad life, especially he's a fucking millionaire, or he's making league minimum at the
He's at least making $700. So
I mean, come on, you're making $700 G's still living at your parents' house.
He moved from Champaign, Illinois, back to his parents' house. All right, Commanders, Seahawks.
I could skip it.
Sam Howell's good. Jets, Raiders.
He's okay. Rip. Who would have thought that the Raiders would be here with a rookie, no-name quarterback?
You got to think the shoe's going to drop on the other end at some point. Hasn't happened yet.
Just saying.
I think Antonio Pierce is a lot better than Josh McDaniels. This is another reason why I think Josh McDaniels is a fucking horrible coach, and he needs at least a head coach that has bigger balls than him on top. The Jets, this kind of puts them in a situation that if Aaron Rodgers does come back, they still might not make the playoffs. So they really got to try to get some wins here for the case that he can come back and bring him somewhere. But Zach Wilson, you want to know what they should have done? Josh Dobbs. They should have got Josh Dobbs. Because they have
supposedly Aaron Rodgers is coming back in a few weeks.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But I don't know if Josh Dobbs is going to be the rest of the year solution for the Vikings. But I do.
There's no other fucking solution.
I know, but it takes some time, and there's a chance that he might go downhill. But I know, for a fact that
he's going downhill for him. He gets Justin Jefferson back next week. It's on.
Yeah, that's when they were losing, when Justin Jefferson was on the team.
Well, yeah, because Kirk Cousins feels the need to get the guy the ball now. He's just playing fucking backyard football. Just go deep, and I'm going to throw it to you.
I agree, and I want to agree with you, but there's always a chance that a guy comes in and he's new and they don't know what he's going to do, and then teams start adapting to them. So we'll see if that ends up happening. I'm not saying that it's going to. But the Jets, now Aaron Rodgers comes back. He says mid-December. That's probably unlikely given that injury.
I don't think he's coming back.
I don't think he's coming back this year. But if he was to, they're putting themselves in a situation where they can't make the playoffs, and that's not going to work out in their favor.
They're not a playoff team. They're not a playoff team.
But they are with a good quarterback because everybody else on the team is playing well.
The Finns are going to take that division. It's over.
Yeah, because that division sucks.
Yep. And
they
to that point,
suck. Broncos, Bills. What the fuck?
Mr. Unlimited.
He's starting to play well. He's playing well.
Hey, I think Sean Payton finally got through his thick fucking skull.
I heard an argument today that Sean Payton was talking enough shit about him where he's like, all right, fuck this. I think he just got that out of him. I don't know if that's true or not, but I heard that today. And I was like, that's probably true because it's like.
Well, Will Lutz is a dog. Will Lutz is what's up.
Saints should
what I would do if I'm a betting man, you should bet the over on Will Lutz to hit every field goal so whatever the over under is on Will Lutz for a field goal per game,
Hit the over.
Hit the over because in any situation where they're close, be like, put fucking Lutz in there.
Yeah, and Lutz was the Saints kicker for a while. Lutz was very good. Sean Payton brings his guy back because he liked him. He's very good. Javonte Williams, decent game. Josh Allen needs to take care of the ball more.
Fired Ken Dorsey right after the game. Literally,
I don't know if he was the issue.
Gone.
I don't know if he was the issue.
Brian Dable might be coming back there next season. I could foresee Brian Dable getting fired. I could foresee them totally hitting the reset button in Jersey with the Giants and getting rid of Saquon, getting rid of basically everybody.
Not DJ.
They traded Leonard Williams.
They signed him for a long time. But I do think that
there you go.
I think that Dayball and also the Bills would benefit with a reconciliation.
Get that guy back.
But yeah, I don't know if the Bills are even going to make the playoffs this year. When we talk about windows for a team, it's closing pretty abruptly right now. So they hope to turn something around quickly. I don't see that happening this year, but we will see. That is the games. Those are the games for this week. Let's get some picks. Let's send you out for a happy weekend. First game on Thursday, Bengals at Ravens.
This is a hell of a primetime game on a Thursday night. I will say this. I am all in on the Bengals this season. If my Super Bowl pick will come to fruition, I got to rock and roll with them. So give me the Bengals.
Two teams that are coming off of pretty brutal losses. So I'll take the Ravens. I'm rooting on the Ravens for the same reason you're rooting on the Bengals. All right, Steelers at Browns. DTR.
Give me the Steelers. Give me the Steelers.
I'm taking the Steelers too. I don't think Dorian Thompson-Robinson is a NFL quarterback. Raiders at Dolphins.
Give me the Fins.
Yeah, I don't think that the Raiders are going to win 3 in a row with him, so I have to agree with you there as well.
No way.
Bears at Lions. 2 years ago, Bears all day. Now,
no.
Lions time.
Give me the Lions.
Titans at Jags.
Give me the Jags.
They lost by too much to not take them. I hate that we're agreeing on everything. And Chargers at Packers.
Give me the Chargers. Because fuck the Packers.
The Packers are so bad. I want to take them, but I can't. I can't because I'm behind in games right now. All right, I'm taking the Chargers. Cardinals at Texans. Last year, shit bowl. This year, possible
really
playoff
good game. I think they stay on track. I think it's going to be a closer game than people think, but I still think the Texans win.
I think Kyler goes off because I think he's trying to prove something, but I do think that the Texans still end up winning because he just tries a fucking MVP. Cowboys at Panthers.
Right. Cowboys.
It's the boys. Yeah, we agree again. We only have one bit of parity on this. I'm sorry for the people at home, but
it's kind of an easy pick 'em week. It's difficult not to go this way.
Giants Commanders.
Give me the commies.
They have to win it, right?
Yeah, they have to. There's no doubt about it.
Tommy DeVito is not that good. The Giants aren't that good. We're both taking the commies. I know who you're going to take this time. I know who I'm going to take this time. Bucks at 49ers.
Give me the 45 fucking Niners.
Yeah, I picked against them last week. I'm not doing it again. All right. Give me the 49ers.
Trent Williams is back. Debo is back. Debo to score. Mike. Here's a parlay for that game. Mike Evans and Debo.
I like that. I think it's realistic. Jets at Bills. I would like to say the Trayvon Diggs get 14 out of that town. You see that tweet that he posted?
No.
Trayvon Diggs said get 14 out of there during the game. They said he was saying get Stephon Diggs out of there, which bringing the diva talk into it. But
the Bills don't lose 2 in a row.
Agreed.
They're going to get back to basics with Josh Allen. They're going to not lose a division game to the Jets again. I think that they win.
And guess who isn't that good? Zach Wilson. Seahawks at Rams.
Yes. Give me the Seahawks.
Is it Carson Wentz season?
No, it is not.
Even if it was, I'm still taking the Seahawks. All right, Vikings at Broncos.
Give me the Broncos.
Ooh.
They're on a tear.
All right, I'll take Dobbs. I'm taking Dobbs. Give me Dobbs. See how it goes. You got to try. If I'm going to catch up, man, I got to try in some things. And now we have a Super Bowl rematch. Eagles at Chiefs.
Give me the Eagles. I think they're going to win this game.
I am really torn up about this game. And because you took the Eagles, I will take the KC Chiefs.
There we go.
I do think it can go either way.
So,
Taylor Swift said karma is a guy on the Chiefs this week. I don't know if you saw that.
And why I think they're going to lose the game. Because
You're probably right. But we'll see how that ends up happening.
I stand with Maddie Healy on this podcast for
Oh,
the
yeah?
record.
Do you think he's all upset about it? I don't know if he is. I think he's actually gotten over it quickly.
I think he's just fine. He's a psychopath.
I think he's doing all right. I think he's doing all right.
Man's just fine. He's touring the countryside. He's having a good time with his life. Anyways, we thank you for joining us. There we go. And the beginning of the podcast and the podcast.
Can't talk.
We appreciate you joining. You know it. You got to follow everything as you should. And no matter where you get your podcast, where you get your social medias, we're on all of it. So please feel free to follow and subscribe to the Taxi Squad podcast. And as always, people, we will see you next week.
Peace.